Hello students, good morning to all of you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, ma'am.
What we discussed in last class, strong components done.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to start vertex degree, right? So in the undirected graph, for example, this graph we have, what do you understand by degree?
Number of incident edges.
Degree?
Number of incident edges.
Number of incident edges to the particular vertex is known as its degree, right?
Yes.
So here degree is 2, 2, 3, 1, right? Here we don't have any direction. If I put the direction in this graph, then what will happen? Some edges are coming to the vertex and some is going out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
In that sense, in the directed graph D, we talk about the in degree and out degree. Edges coming to the vertex accounts for, contributes to its in degree, and going out, that constitutes its out degree. Okay? Example, we have the vertex A, B, C, D. Yeah, what can you say about in degree of D?
Now for D,
For D,
one out degree.
there is one out degree, zero in degree. No edges coming to the vertex, right? Or you can also say the number of arc or edges, directed edges with tail V, right? If V is the vertex over here and U is vertex over here, then out degree is represented by OD or D plus of vertex V that accounts for arc, number of arcs going out of the vertex, or you can just say with tail V. And in degree constitutes of number of arc with head V. Okay? Here
Yes, ma'am.
it is denoted by D minus V, and this is G plus V. Here, so in this case, what is out degree of D? I'm just writing out degree first, then comma, in degree, next. Yeah. For D, its out degree is 1 and in degree is 0.
0.
What about C?
Out degree 2. No, ma'am.
Out
Out degree
Degree
1.
2. In degree 2
In
or
degree
1?
2. Out degree 1.
In degree 1.
No, ma'am.
In
In
degree
degree
2.
2.
Out degree 2. Yeah, 1.
Out degree is 1, in degree is 2.
Out degree is 1 and in degree is 2. There are two edges coming towards the vertex, coming in and going out 1. So B, we have 1, 1,
1, 1.
and A again 1, 1.
1, 1.
Right? There we discuss about every edge is counted twice, right? if we count the degree. If we add all the vertex degree, then every edge is counted twice. But here, what we have, if there is a directed arc, or you can just say directed edge, then obviously this edge is counted once in this one and once in this one. That is, if we take only the sum of out degrees, that will count once only,
Yes, ma'am.
right? That is, if you have A and B with arc E, then you can say A can be either it is head or tail, right? So if we are counting all the heads, or you can just say all the in degree, summation of in degree, that counts all the arc. That is giving you M. And if you sum it up all the out degree, that is, if you count all the tails, that will give you M again. Clear? So that is the first theorem of digraph theory, or degree sum formula for digraph theory, as we did in the graph. So anyways, before that, this is out degree 3 plus the number of arc with tail B, okay, going out. Yeah. Why he is not able to do? Oh, is it? Then how did you guys join? I can't help. I think they are this section 2041009. They are. So you can mail them. Whoever is dealing with this section. Yes. Okay, he can join using some other mail ID, I think. Then again, he will not be able to accept it. Ah. So let me see after the class into this matter. Okay. Yeah. In degree is the number of arcs coming to the vertex, and coming towards the vertex means with hat V. Okay. For example, in this case, what is the out degree of A?
1.
1. Yes. And in degree 1.
1.
1.
What would be
In
out
degree
degree?
In degree 2. In degree 2.
In degree 2.
Would C out
In degree
degree
1. Out degree 3.
5. E.
3 or
In
4?
degree 4.
4. Out degree 4.
Out degree is 4, in degree is 1, right? And if you sum out degree plus in degree, this is giving you all the arcs, whether it is coming to and going out, that is to which it is incident, the vertex. Okay. And what about D? Out degree
0.
0,
0.
in degree 2. What about E?
Out degree 1. In
Out
degree
degree 1,
Out degree 1. In degree
in
0.
degree
0.
0. What about F?
In degree 1. Out degree 0.
Out degree 2.
This one. We had at the time of graph, simple graph, undirected graph, we had this minimum degree and maximum degree, right? And here we have in degree and out degree. So minimum out degree, maximum out degree, right? This is your minimum out degree, minimum in degree. Clear? And maximum is for del, capital Del, out degree for plus, and maximum in degree is del minus. Clear? This of graph G or D. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell me for this one, what is this, for this diagraph D, what is the maximum in degree?
2.
Ma'am, maximum degree 2.
We will look at all the in degrees and take maximum, that is 2. Minimum
0.
0. Now look at all the out degree. Maximum
4.
4. Minimum 0.
Yes, ma'am.
Minimum in degree. In degree.
Ma'am, but that
Maximum in degree.
Yes, ma'am, del plus denotes the minimum out degree.
maximum.
Del is for maximum. Del is for maximum and out degree in degree. Maximum in degree. See, del plus del was the maximum, na, and this del is minimum. Whenever it is plus, this is out degree. Whenever it is minus, this is in degree.
In degree.
And this is minimum out degree in degree. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And then for del plus first row,
And del plus is 0 then.
0
It should be minimum
0.
out degree. Minimum out degree is 0.
0.
And minimum in degree
0 again. 1.
0 0.
again 0.
0.
Now
0.
it's maximum. Maximum out degree,
4.
that's done. 4. Minimum in degree.
2.
Again I'm just
Maximum
doing the same
in
mistake.
degree.
Yeah, maximum in degree,
2.
2.
in degree and maximum. Yeah, that is 2. Clear? Don't get confused. Del is always for maximum. Okay, and this small del is always for minimum. And this plus minus is for out and in respectively. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. We have done neighborhood or successor set, right? Neighborhood in that
Ma'am, your
graph,
voice is
right?
breaking.
And here we have out neighborhood and in neighborhood. Clear? Out neighborhood is, what do you understand by out neighborhood? What do you understand by out neighborhood of this V? Which are adjacent from V, right? You will collect all those points. These edges are going out now, and wherever they meet, these are forming out neighborhood, right? Clear?
Yes,
So all those X will come in out neighborhood of V, such that we have, there is an edge from V to X. Okay, that is going out all those edges, or you can just say which are adjacent from V. Clear? If we have V is this one and X is here, then we say X is adjacent from V and V is adjacent to X. Clear? And similarly, in neighborhood, this is also out neighborhood is also known as successor set, right? All those points which are coming after V, right? And predecessor coming before V. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. N minus V. This is N plus V. Plus for out, minus for in. So in neighborhood will be, like if we have V here and X here, then it should be coming towards the V. Okay, all those which are such that all those x such that there is an arc from that point to V. Okay, or you can just say all those vertex which are from which V is incident. Okay, from which V is incident, or which are incident, not incident, adjacent to V. Clear? This one means V is adjacent to X, X is adjacent from V, and this means V is adjacent from X or X is adjacent to V. Clear? And obviously all the out neighborhood, if you count all these, that constitutes the out degree. Clear? Out degree of the vertex. And in neighborhood means the cardinality will give you in a degree. Clear? There should not be any loop present in that graph. Yeah, this is minimum, out degree, in degree. Maximum, out degree, in degree. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That we
Yes, ma'am.
already discussed. Yeah, here we have this one. In the diagram D, we have, if you take sum of all the out degree, this is giving you M. Okay, that is number of arc. Or also you can take the sum of all the in degree, that is giving you size. And if you add this one plus this one, that is giving you 2M, right? And you can see it whether either the edge is coming out or towards, right? So if you remove all the direction, that then it will become the simple graph, and in simple graph that formula holds. Summation of all the degrees is giving you 2M. Clear? Now why is it only M in case of out degree and in case of summation of in degrees?
Ma'am, because we are counting every vertex only once.
Yes. So you can just say you have A to B. There is it is out degree of A counts all the edges coming out, or you can just say all the head, right? Head of this edges. So every edge has exactly one tail and one head. That's why this edge, if you are counting in head, then it's counting once, right? If you are counting in out degree, then it is counted in this one, right? Not in the in case of A. And for in degree, it will be, so if only you are summing up as out degree, so it is counting only once. This edge or every edge is counted only once in case of out degree, right? We don't have both way direction. That's why. Okay? Each edge is counted only once while counting the respective out degree and in degrees. Clear? You can see over here. In this one, you can check it. Summation of out degrees. Tell me. First, tell me number of arcs M, size of this arc, size of this graph, digraph G.
7 arcs.
7. And what about this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Summation of out degree. So out degree we are just writing it for first or the first place in the order pair. So 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 3 plus 0. Are you getting 7?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, in degree 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. So this is your 1, 1, 4 and 3, 7. Again you are getting as in degree. Yeah. Now for this graph, what is the maximum degree? That is out degree.
4.
4.
No,
Ma'am,
no,
three.
no. 3.
Here I changed one direction, I think. In the earlier
Yes.
graph we had 4, but here I changed this direction. This was, I think, this one, right? In the earlier graph.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it's changed to this one. So it's 3 maximum out degree. Minimum out degree is 1. Sorry, 0. And maximum is 3. Now in degree means look at the second place element in the ordered pair. That is
Maximum 2.
minimum is your 0 and
0.
maximum is
2.
2, right?
2.
So maximum is your here. Maximum in degree, this one, and maximum out degree, this one, and minimum both are 0, out degree and in degree, right? Here, similarly, you can check over here. Number of edges are m here. You take the sum of all the out degrees and take the sum of all the in degrees. You will get it 5. 5. That is m. Okay. Is there any doubt? Okay, in this graph,
No.
what is your maximum out degree and maximum in degree?
Ma'am, maximum out degree 2.
2.
Maximum out degree is 2 for C, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Maximum in degree,
1, 2.
2, ma'am.
2, ma'am.
again
Three.
2 for B, right? Now minimum out degree,
0.
0.
minimum in degree. So you have minimum
0.
out degree is 0 corresponding to B, and minimum out this is out degree, and minimum in degree corresponding to E. I hope it is clear to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we had an adjacency matrix in case of simple graph, right? Undirected graph. What was it? How you defined? G is a loopless graph. There should not be any loop. And vertex at V1, V2, and so on up to En. And S set is even E2 and so on up to Em. Then how you define adjacency matrix? AB is
We list vertex at the rows and edges at the column and write 1 and 0 if it has adjacency or not.
this is adjacency matrix or incidence matrix. Whatever you are explaining, that is incidence matrix.
And for edges are replaced by vertices.
Edges are replaced by vertices, and you count all the that is number of edges between the ith vertex and jth vertex. Right? That will be your Aij. Yeah? The number of edges you count. Okay. So there it is. We have this one directed graph with tail and head, right? Edges. There it will be somewhat different. That means Aij. There it was Aij and Aji was same, symmetric, right? But here Aij means if there is an arc with tail B or ith tail and jth head. Okay. Okay. And ji will be jth tail and ith head. Clear? So this is the number of arc from Vi to Vg. Okay. If your ith vertex over here, jth vertex here, if there are two number of arc which are going out, then you will be writing as Aij is true. Clear? And Aj will be from J to I. Clear? And this will not be the different vertex. This has to be the same vertex. Okay? Because we are talking about the number of arc from Vi to Vj. Clear? How many it is going. So Aij, if here some k is there, then Aik will be right. Got it? Then we had incidence matrix. Incidence matrix there we had 1 and 0. If it is incident to the vertex, if any is, it's incident to the vertex. Incident means that as and this A and B are the endpoints, so we can just say A and B are incident with this one. Okay, it's E. So if incident to the vertex, then we had 1, and not incident, then we had 0. Clear? But here it will be either incident from the vertex or to the vertex. Okay, if some edge is like this, then we say from the vertex, right? And this is going out now. If edge is going out of the vertex, then we say +1. And if edge is coming towards the vertex, then we say -1. And if nothing is there, A vertex is here and some arc is present over here, then there is no relation between A and that arc, right? So then you will write 0. So going out, the number of edges, and here the number of, not the number of edges, whether EI, that is EJ, is going out from Vi, then we write as that is +1. And if EJ is coming towards, that is head now, coming towards Vi, then we write as minus. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, can you give me the same graph we had here? Right? We had there also without direction, the same kind of graph. So just try to find AD and MD. AD is for the adjacency matrix and MD is for incidence matrix. Yes. Obviously, the diagonal entries will be 0, no loop, right? So we have W, X, Y, and Z. These are the vertices. A, B, C, D, E. These are the arc.
Ma'am, if there is -1 and +1 also, like in X and Y here,
Yes.
then equal to 0.
No. That is corresponding to Vi. That is whether it is, see, EJ, the particular edge, either that will be head of that vertex or this will be tail of that vertex, right?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
EJ is the tail of that vertex, then we write as +1. If it is the head of the vertex, then we write as -1. Got it?
Okay, ma'am.
One vertex cannot be there, no? It is loopless. So this vertex cannot be head as well as tail, right? Here, this kind of scenario is not present, Joy. No loop. That's why it is either head or tail. Or nothing. Nothing means 0. Clear? If you write WXYZ AD, then there is W to W, X to X, 0, 0, diagonal entries, right? Now W to X. W to X. Is there any S? How many edges are there from W to X?
0.
No.
W to X, no S, so 0. W to Y.
1.
W to Y. 1. W to Z, no
Zero.
H, 0. Now come to X. X. X to W.
1.
This one. X to W, 1. X to X, 0. X to Y, there is 1. C, right? So this one. X to Z, 0. Then Y. Y. Y to W, 0. Y to X, you
1.
have 1. Y to Z, you have 1.
1.
So 0, 1, 0, 1. Clear? And Z. Z to X, no. Z to W, no. Z to Y, no. Nothing. Clear? This is giving you, is it symmetric? In the case of simple graph, undirected graph, it was symmetric, right? If you take the transpose, that is if you count the number of edges between AI and AJ, or you can count the number of vertices between J, AJ and AI, both are same. That is AIJ is equal to AJI. But here it's not same. You can see first row is not same as first column, right? So its transpose is not same as this one. That's why not symmetric. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah, it will be 4 cross 4. And ND will be, that is incidence matrix, that will be 4 cross 5. For this one, you can write W, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, E, and W. W with A. What is the relation? Coming towards or coming going out? Yes?
-1.
This A is coming towards W, going out.
Coming towards
Going.
Going out. Is it?
the
A and W.
Coming towards W.
Towards, right? Means in. Minus. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So -1. So we have W is the vertex, A is any this H. To B. W with B. What is the relation? Head or tail?
Tail.
Tail. So plus. Okay. And in case of A, it was head. In case of C,
0.
nothing. D, nothing. E, nothing. There is no relation, right? What about X? X with A. X and A. X is the tail, right?
Plus.
Tail.
Plus.
So it will be +1. And X to B,
No relation.
no relation, 0. X to C, X and C. X is the head of this or tail?
Tail.
Tail. So +1 going out, +1. Then Y, that is X and D. Edge D. This is
Head.
coming toward, right? And then you have nothing with E. Okay, X has no relation with E. Then Y and Z. Y with A,
No
Y
relation.
with A, no relation, and Z with A, no relation. Actually, Z with E, you have some relation, and every other is 0, 0. That's why these four are 0, and with E, it is having inward, that is tail, not head, coming towards Z, right? Coming in. So that's why in 4 negative, -1. Y? Y to A, no relation, Y to B. Y to B, coming towards now, B is coming towards Y. That's why -1. uh, Y and C. CS is coming towards Y, again -1. D is going out, so +1. E is going out, that's why +1. Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, in the graph G, this was the symmetric one, but in diagraph D, it may not be symmetric. Okay? Any doubt till now?
No, ma'am.
Hmm?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Then same thing is Eulerian diagram. Eulerian trail, Eulerian circuit. What was the Eulerian trail in graph G? Can you tell me? Eulerian circuit, Eulerian trail, Eulerian graph. Tell me these three definitions.
Ma'am, Eulerian graph is the one which contains Eulerian circuit.
Yes. Now define Eulerian circuit.
And a circuit which contains all edges of graph.
All edges of the graph. Good. And what about trail? Eulerian trail. Trail that contains all the edges of graph, right? And we refer as generally open trail. Okay. Yeah. Here we want directed trail, directed circuit, right? There should be direction given. Direction either in forward direction or in reverse, right? So in the diagram, Eulerian trail is directed trail containing all the arc of the diagram, and Eulerian circuit will be a directed circuit in the graph diagram D that contains all the arc of. Here we are just using arc, means directed edges, right? Clear? Now when you say Eulerian diagram is Eulerian diagram if it contains a circuit that contains all the arc of this graph, or you can just say if it contains Eulerian circuit. So everything is same, similar kind, right? For example, this one. What about this one? Is this Eulerian? Is this diagram Eulerian?
No, ma'am.
No. There does not exist any directed circuit, right? That is, if you start with this vertex or this vertex, you can start with this one, go to this one, then you cannot traverse this one, right?
Yes.
That's why if I make this direction as this one, then it will be, right? You can trace this one, this one, this one. Okay. For example, a directed cycle, all the directed Cn is becoming the
Eulerian graph.
Eulerian digraph. And some known examples I already told you. This is one kind of this one only. Two edges are in forward direction, one is in reverse direction. Okay. Now, whenever you have Eulerian circuit, obviously that is in a non-trivial diagram, that is directed circuit. Obviously, it will be this is passing through B using two incident edges. If this is coming to the vertex and one is going out, right? So coming towards the vertex and going out means to say it. This includes. This is contributing to the in degree, right? In degree and out degree, or you can just say D minus and D plus. Here, the circuit is contributing to R, that is contributing to in degree and out degree. Clear? Understood? So, whenever any circuit is passing once in degree 1, out degree 1. It is again passing, in degree will be 2 and out degree will be again 2. So in this one, what you should have, in degree is equal to out degree. Because as many as times it is coming to the vertex, it has to go out of the vertex. Clear? One has to enter to the vertex, another is to exit. It is using the two incident edges, right? And incident edges means it is coming towards the vertex and going out. These both are incident edges. So that's why you have at every time it is entering as well as exiting, right? So that's why it is all the in degree is equal to out degree. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
In the simple graph we had, undirected graph, we have degree of every vertex was even. Why? Because here whatever in degree and out degree, that we were counting both now. That's why it was even. Here it may be anything. For example, in this case, it is one in degree, one out degree. But the condition is whenever it is coming to the vertex, it has to go, it has to exit, right? So that's why in degree will be always out degree. Okay. If the digraph is Eulerian, then in degree is equal to out degree. Okay. And if in degree is equal to out degree, then the Eulerian circuit you can always find. Means that graph will be Eulerian digraph. Clear? And if you want to check whether some graph is Eulerian or not, look at the in degrees and out degree of all the vertices. Okay. This one is when circuit, this Eulerian circuit exists, right? And if the reverse condition is, if this one is true, D negative, D minus V and D plus V. Okay. Then we can always find the Eulerian circuit, because we will be taking that vertex towards that S towards the vertex, and one is to go out. And why these two exist? Because of these has same, this vertex has same in degree and out degree. Clear? A digraph D is Eulerian if and only if you have in degree and out degree are equal for all the vertices. Clear? And this, what was the graph definition? A connected graph G is Eulerian if and only if you had degree of any vertex is even. Clear? And that was if degree is even, then you can find the Eulerian circuit, and the graph is Eulerian, then obviously degree has to be even. Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And we had one more thing, that whenever you have degree is at least 2, does there exist any cycle? G contains a cycle. We had now. If your degree is at least 2 in the graph G for every vertex, then G contains a cycle. Some C will be subgraph of G. Clear? This we proved by using maximal path. This cannot be extendable. That's why all the neighbors of starting point and ending point, this is present on T only. Okay, and that u2x edge was not there, not present in the maximal, otherwise it would not be a path, right? Vertex repeats, and then we describe ux and x2u part of T. That forms a cycle. Are you getting it? This was happening in your simple undirected graph. But what about here? Here it was degree is at least 2. One is this one and another is this one. Clear? For cycle, every vertex has to be incident with at least 2 number of edges, right? So that we can choose one is to enter the vertex and another is to exit. But what about here, diagram? In diagram, we need directed circuit, right? Or directed cycle. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So for directed cycle, we can only say in degree is at least 1. If in degree is at least 1 or out degree is at least 1, you can just say that means there is one arc that is leaving to the vertex, and that is happening with every vertex. So there is at least one arc that is leaving the vertex, and here, okay, and here, and then it can come to the vertex, right? Then you can just say this contains a cycle. Clear? And cycle has to be directed. Okay. Why this is not open? I just taken as A to B. Why this is not open? I made it close now, like this. Why I am adding to this one? This edge. This is contributing. This is already having del plus, that is the minimum degree is at least 1, right? At least 1 edge is coming out of the vertex. Okay. Then what about this edge? This edge is coming out of the last vertex, na? Second last vertex. So with every vertex we have at least one edge is coming out. That's why it has to be closed. Clear? And same conclusion, if you have minimum in degree is at least 1. Minimum in degree means there is one arc that is coming towards every vertex. Okay. And that has to be from some other vertex. So A, we have B vertex, so there has to be some edge that is coming towards the vertex. Clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So how to prove this one? Again, we will be taking its maximal path. Same thing we did there. Is the maximal path, that is U to B, but here path means directed path. Either it is in forward direction or in reverse direction. Okay. As V is the last vertex of the path P, right? Every successor of V must already be in path, right? See, अगर V last vertex है path का, तो कोई भी अगर V का successor है in digraph D, that is some path is this one, U to V. Okay, U to V, V to some other W, W to V. We have this one. Okay. Yeah. Then there is every successor of V. Successor means the vertex that is coming after V, that is also present on this path. Why? If not, that will not be maximal. It can be extendable. So we must already be the vertex of P. This is happening in P only. Okay, this arc may not be present in P, but vertex, the neighbor is present. Neighbor means successor. Okay. So every successor of V must already be in vertex of P. Clear? Otherwise, P is not maximal, that I told you. Now, every vertex with minimum degree, we have at least one. There is at least one edge coming out of the vertex, out of every vertex. Clear? That means out degree, अगर minimum degree greater than 1 है तो out degree in general that will be also greater than 1, right? Clear? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. See, in degree कम से कम 1 है तो degree of all the vertices is also greater than equal to 1. कम से कम 1 होगी, right? Now V has a successor on P, that W, or you can just make it X if you want. Then what you take? You can take this path, this portion of path, and this arc that was present in D. Okay. So V has a successor. In our case, this is W, and in their case, it is X. On P, so that Vx, this X, V2W or Vx, this is not the part of path. Otherwise, P is not a path because of repetition of W or X. Right? Now, this arc V2W completes a cycle, so completes a directed cycle with X to V, or here, this is X to X, or here W to V portion of path you can take, and V to W arc of this part you can take and make one path, one cycle, right? And that's what it is asked, that D contains a cycle. Clear? Is there any doubt? Yes. Similarly, you can work with the minimum in degree. Minimum in degree, you can work with U. Okay. And every predecessor of U has to be there in G. Okay. That graph. Similarly, there will not be present. There will be a present of successor of the predecessor of U, but not the arc present that joins V and that predecessor. Okay, that's why P will not be a path. That's why this arc, you can take this one and take that portion which forms a cycle. Clear? Okay. Any doubt in this one? Hello?
No.
No. So you need to remember for objective type questions, if it comes, then this statement. Okay? They may not ask you this proof. Okay? Yeah. Now, I'm just saying, what about the orientation of this edge? Is this arc, it's oriented? Yes? Is this edge AB is oriented if we give exactly one direction? Okay? Now, B to A, I have given one more direction. Is this oriented?
No,
What
ma'am.
is the orientation? No, you cannot define its orientation, right? So if every edge of the graph is having at most one direction, exactly one actually, exactly one direction, then you can just say the graph is the diagram is oriented. Okay, but
And then
this yeah
that graph should be simple directed graph.
yeah simple directed graph, loopless graph. Okay, means two directions cannot be present. Okay, two or three like this one. We cannot define or we cannot decide this the direction is from A to B or B to A, right? What is the orientation? Yeah, the oriented graph. First, we'll talk about tournament basis on this oriented graph. This is an orientation of simple graph. We start with simple graph G and we make every edge exactly and every edge is direction. We provide direction exactly once, right? So which is obtained from G by choosing an orientation. Either we will be choosing this one or we will be choosing this one, but not both. Clear? For each edge. You can just say you can start with this kite, that simple graph, and then give one direction, exactly one direction. Okay. We say this arc is oriented this way, this arc is oriented this way, and so on, right? So this will be oriented graph. Now, whenever you have A comma B and B comma A present, right? X comma Y and Y comma X is present, then we can see here we cannot define its orientation, right? The arc between A and B, what is the orientation of that? We cannot define. That's why this is not the oriented graph. Okay, because of this one. If this edge is gone, then it becomes the oriented. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah, you can remember this fact. If you have n number of vertices, then total number of oriented graph will be 3 raised to power nc2. Why nc2? Total number of edges existing between any n vertices, right? Okay. Yeah, that I'll start with tomorrow, the tournament. Okay. Yeah, we are left with just exercise part and this one. The complete in next class. Next class we have tomorrow. Yeah. Any doubt? Yes. No. Thank you all. Stop here. Yes. Any doubts, Srinath?
लॉकडाउन लॉकडाउन की वजह से क्लास नहीं हो रहा है.
Can't hear you. Anyways, that's it for today.
Good morning. Are you all online?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. So today let us start our session. So last class we have almost completed chapter number 22, that is on Gauss law, right? And I have given 2 assignment problems, and today we will discuss about those assignment problems. I hope some of you have tried it, because I am 100% sure not 100% of the students must have tried, but a very few must have tried. So those who have tried, thank you for your hard work. Now let us see how to solve those problems.